completely crashed then, but I'm back. So hello everyone, I've got a person. Hello person, how are you? Yes, I've been doing Ancestry today. I've been doing that for a while, tracing the family tree. And I was just looking at who's related to me and I suddenly thought, oh, I think I'll trace Elizabeth Warren's ancestry today because I was at a loose end. I've been very busy this last couple of weeks, but I was at loose end today. So I've been doing that and trying to see whether she's got actual Native American. Well, she has because she's got the DNA, but how? There's a lot of loose ends that I can't really trace. So it could have been any one of those, But I did find that she's related to me. Ha ha! Hello, evening, adjustable squelch. Hey, so she's related to me. Hello, Ollie. She's related to me through because she's called Herring originally. So I expect that everyone called Herring is probably related to me too, because when you trace it back, it's back and back and back. And the Herring part of her family only came to America in the very late 1800s, the very early 1900s. But if you keep going back, it goes to Cornwall and then Wiltshire and then Church Stanton, which I've got a lot of relatives in Church Stanton, and it's a family called Buttolph alias Herring, which turned into Herring for her and into Buttle for my family, but it is the same family. And a generation before that, even though they're in 1650, a long time ago, 1650, they're in Devon. But before that, some of them had gone to America, like Virginia and the colonies, and come back again. So, possible that because I've got Native American ancestry apparently from the DNA, which is like how. But hello, Philip. So that's interesting, isn't it? So I don't know whether it's from there, but I was saying on in another site that actually, which shall be nameless, that also that other people that are related to that part of the family are all the Bush family and quite a lot of politicians and Winston Churchill apparently. So yes, and the people that went to America and came back, the reason they came back from America is they got hounded out. Basically, they were persecuted. You escaped to America to escape the religious persecution apparently in Europe. And then they go, no, you're a witch. And then they all went again. And one of them was accused of having a terrible affair, probably an amazing affair, with the next door neighbour. And her husband was like, all right, I've been accused of terrible things. I'm going off. I'm going back to the old country, back to Devon, and left her there. She tried to get divorced. They didn't know whether he was dead or not, so she couldn't get divorced. So she did marry a couple of other people, and I think she stayed in America with her new husband. But the person that she was going to marry was like, nah, can't be bothered, can't be waiting. The person that was apparently the father of one of the children that she had out of wedlock. But see, I also found traces of the person that she was really married to in my DNA. Like, I found people that are related to, so I don't know. Anyway, the point is, the daughter of this relationship came back, whoever the father was, came back to somewhere. Anyway, that's the story of that. So I'm related to Elizabeth Warren. Woohoo! Yeah, that's that. What else to say? Because you are related. I mean, I've said before, Danny Dyer, related to him. More related to the royals than he is to the royals, because everybody's related. I can probably trace myself to whoever you are. In fact, you want me to do your family tree, I'll do your family tree, and we'll see how we're related, because we are all definitely related in one way or another. 10,000 years ago, everybody was related to the same person, probably. And also, I mentioned recently that there was a big cataclysm and some sort of meteor hit Greenland. 9 degrees. Yes, exactly. I am actually 9 degrees. Almost certainly 9 degrees from Elizabeth Warren, because I think she's like my 9th or 10th cousin. Once removed. My 9th or 10th cousin once removed. So it's direct. It's directly like a lot of people are like my 10th cousin 5 times removed or something, which is a little bit more tangential, is that the word? But she's fairly directly related to me, but quite a long way in the past. But it's easy to trace, whereas a lot of people I'm like, oh, not quite sure, or it goes back really far. I mean, all the royals, you're going back like the 1200s, which is a long way, but the 1600s is when Not within living memory, not unless you're like some sort of immortal being, like I am, obviously. But yeah. Oh, I'm looking rough. I'm very busy lately. I'm feeling like, shall I make a video? And I'm just like, oh, it's too much effort. Like I was gonna make one yesterday. I keep saying the Cardiff museum one still to come, and I'm just like, they've got dinosaurs and fossils and art in that, and I was just looking at it going, do I have to? Because I've been busy all week. The thing is, I've got a sort of part-time jobby thing, and I won't be back tomorrow until late, but I'll sort of be back fairly early in the evening most of the other day. And it's half term because it's, educational related. One thing about that is you do get days off. So I got half term. I was going to go home to my dad's got an exhibition. So if you're in the Pontypool area, go and see my dad's exhibition from the 19th of February. That's in Pontypool Museum. That's Valley's Inheritance Museum, I think it's called. Anyway, go and see that. And I was going to go and see that, but I don't know whether I can get home for that because it's just like, because I'm working on Friday, I wouldn't get back in time for the opening. So it's on until May, I think. So I'm going to be back probably in Easter. So I'll just probably sleep. The week after next, probably what I'll do is sleep because then I'm starting to work again in the daytime. So I'm doing day jobs of the day. I'm not used to this. Because, getting up at 6:30 in the morning, it's just like, it gets you. Like, I'm getting used to it now. I know that's like normal for most people, but I'm just like, do I have to? I usually wake up about 7 o'clock, but I don't wake up at 7 o'clock. Usually I go, I'll just have a little sleep, and then the nearest I've come is in Edinburgh, where you're doing shows every day, but there's not shows at 7 o'clock in the morning. That would be a bit of a... Can you imagine shows at 7 o'clock in the morning? Oh my goodness me. They're usually, the earliest I get them is about noon, so I can have a bit of a sort of a run up to it. And then, but oh my goodness. So I'm starting again work tomorrow, and then it's been fun because, as I was saying, I learned things in infant school, but there are gaps, definitely gaps. Things that maybe you had a day off. Like, I didn't realise that I didn't actually know the 7 times table until I was helping to teach kids the 7 times table and went, oh yeah. I know it now, although don't test me on it because maths is not my strong point. But I did maths. I should be past the 7 times table, but I was definitely off that day. And then when I came back, they were on the 8 times table. So I'm all right from 8 onwards. And I'm all right up to, I think I'm probably a bit shaky on the 6 as well, to be honest. I think they did it on the same day. And then I had never any call. I could get by without really learning the 7 times table. It's not necessary for life. But then when you're trying to show someone else it does help to know it. Anyway, 7 times table, that will help you with Ancestry as well. It'll help you work it out. Oh, I tell you what else. Do you see the last actual video I did was opening a mystery box of food. Now, I was like, I've got to speak, because I've been working, I've got a little bit of money to get more food. So I bought another mystery box coming soon, a mystery box for £1, and that's probably going to be stuff I can't eat. And also, I got a gluten-free mystery box that says it's going to have 19 gluten-free, at least 19 gluten-free foodstuffs in there. But it'll probably all be like ham stock cubes, and I'll be like, I don't really want ham stock cubes. But let's see, it could be anything. So I might, if that comes up in the week, I might make a video of just my gluten-free, opening my gluten-free box. That sounds rude, doesn't it? Yes. But I don't know what's going to be in it. It could be anything. I hope it's nice stuff. I hope it's stuff I can eat. The thing is, because this particular site, they specialise in things that are not past their sell-by date. You can still eat them, but their best before date is mostly over. Not always. So there might be stuff that I have to eat very quickly, and there might be stuff that I have to give to other people. Anyway, I don't know who else I'm related to. I'm just thinking I'm probably going to maybe do that. I was thinking, maybe I should do a show about that. Maybe we're related show, and I can trace myself to everyone and show you how that we're all a big happy family, and try and find some humour in that and jokes. That's the important thing, making it entertaining, because I have done shows before. I had a gluten intolerance thingy. It was but it was a blood test that it only shows up if if you've been eating gluten. And because I'd already not eaten the gluten for a while, it didn't show up. But the thing is, I don't think I've got a gluten intolerance anyway, because I have got medical things. I have got irritable bowel, and I've also got a little bit, I think, of a wheat allergy, because it actually makes my tongue and my fingers go numb when I have it. So it's not gluten intolerant so much as it makes me feel sick and ill and bad, and throw up and have a numb tongue and feel dizzy and peculiar, which is, at least it's immediate, so you know not to eat it anymore. Whereas at gluten intolerance, sometimes you don't notice that it's doing you bad until you've died. So, in a way, that's lucky. If you get the pain straight away and the effects straight away, then you know not to eat it. So, it's not gluten intolerance. I better not. And I did talk to my doctor. I had an old checkup, a big checkup with all the things a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. I can't remember. Anyway, sometime this year or last year, sometime. Peanuts, no. Peanuts, sometimes if I eat too many peanuts, they make me sick. But I think that's because there's a lot of peanuts. So I'm all right with peanuts. I did at one time think that I was allergic to peanuts. But I think, on reflection, it was because I was eating peanut butter with the bread. And it was the bread. So I think I'm probably all right with peanuts, which I hope I am, because I got a giant jar of peanut butter in my mystery box last week. So I better not be allergic to peanuts, because that could be unfortunate. Although, when I was a kid, I used to really like peanuts. So if we went on a shopping trip, I'd get my mum to buy me one of those giant bags of peanuts, and I would eat it in the back seat, and I would have a horrible, nasty headache for the rest of the day, and it would be so painful. But that could just be from anything, really. I think that the moral is, don't eat a giant bag of peanuts no matter what. Really, if there is a moral to be found in this, that's it. It's this looking rotating device. I don't think that helps really. Yeah, it's still. Oh, that's really. I'm gonna have to rotate again. Rotate device. Yay! Upside down, Elise. So yeah. So if anyone wants me to trace their family tree, I'll be more than happy to, and we can see how we are related. But and then you'll be related to Danny Dyer and the kings and queens of England, in a way, because I know that I can do that. So even though you might be from a different line, you're still sort of related. If you're related to me, then you're related to them through me. But you are related to them anyway, because everyone is really. I think it's Ed. Which one is it? Henry the First. He had a lot of children, like something like 28 children, through various different mistresses and wives. And that's all the ones that we know about. He probably had more that he just didn't even admit to, because it wasn't from a royal or a noble mother. So he probably had quite a lot of children with the servants as well. So even if you don't know that you're related to him, you probably are related to him. Uh, Foreign is fine. There's lots of foreign people I'm related to. They've got I've traced back to Portugal and Cyprus, and I think I've got some. See, I can't trace all of it. And France and Australia and New Zealand I've got, and other things, lots of things, all the things really. Spain and Italy. I've got one Italy, but it's very far back. It's like 1172 or something. It takes me that long to get back to Italy, but I can get back to some of the others. Like France, I can get back to in the last 200 years, and some of the others a little bit further. So I'll probably get back to you, really. And everyone in the world is really related to each other when you go back enough, but you probably can't get the records to trace that, so that's a little bit harder because of the records, but I can try. It depends. I mean, if you're an alien from another planet, I probably won't be able to, but otherwise probably am going to, really. And I've got pretty sure that I've got some relatives from St. Helena, and possibly through that, possibly Madagascar, something like that. and where else? Places. But the fact that I've got traceable, very far back, traceable, what is it? Melanesian and Polynesian and Native American and other things. And probably everyone else has, but it's lost in the mists of time, mists. So you can find it. I can do it. I reckon. I can definitely find something to link you to me because I've got a big family tree now, and there's a lot of people that are DNA related to me that I haven't actually found the connection. So that's harder because I'm trying to look to see what is there. So somehow they're related to me and I don't know how. So possibly I'm not going to be actually thinking about it. Possibly I'm not going to be finding out how you are related to me, but you will be anyway. Really. Yeah. So really, but in doing this, I found quite a lot of the American politicians are related in a weird way. 100% Irish. Yeah. But 100% Irish is what side did he have it done on? See, some of them aren't very subtle. Like there was a thing about the Coronation Street. I don't watch Coronation Street, but there was a thing about Coronation Street DNA, the DNA from the people in Coronation Street, and there was one person in that who was 99% Irish. But it depends because it's not particularly scientific, to be honest. They can, And what does Irish mean? There's probably quite a lot of far back strands from Ireland that, there's quite a lot of Iberian DNA and Irish DNA, which is their Irish DNA. Are the Irish 100% Irish? Well, in that they live in anybody, if you've lived in a country for a long time. See, I'm not English because I'm Welsh, but I'm not. Even then, you go back and obviously everything else gets fed into it. I think that anyone, if you come to Britain, for instance, and you've been here for more than a year, then you're British. That's what I think. Even if you're something else as well. You can be something else as well, but you're British. Obviously, a lot of people don't think this way, hence Brexit. But we won't talk about that. I am a bit scared about that, to be honest, because it's imminent now and I don't know what's happening with it. But yeah, I'll look at that video then. Thank you, Adjustable Shock. So I'm a bit scared about that. But I think if you live in a country for more than 6 months to a year, and you've made if you've got any sort of roots in there, like friends, or you've got a job, or you've bought a pizza in that country, for instance, then that makes you from that country as well as from wherever else you are. You can have all. So you don't stop being whatever you are, but you are also that thing. 6 months. Yeah, I think 6 months because put it this way, most visas and things like that, or when you've got a passport and you go into the country, they say you can stay for 3 months. So if you stay for more than 3 months and you're allowed to stay for more than 3 months, then you are from that country, even if you're from somewhere else. That's my reasoning anyway. So yeah, I think that's fair. If you are there for more than 3 months, which is a passport level of staying, and they're like, yeah, you can stay here for a bit longer, then you can stay here forever. Or you can go home and come back, and I don't mind. I'm not really, hello, edits. I think that's fair. And certainly if you've learned more than 2 words of the languages, yeah. Yes, in that case, you're English, Irish, Belgian, Swiss. Like I, for instance, have over the years spent, not consistently, I haven't spent more than 6 months in Scotland consistently, but I've spent more than a year of my life in Scotland. Now that doesn't make me Scottish. But if I spent that whole year all at once in Scotland, I think that I could say, I think the Scottish are quite welcoming in that way. That I know quite a lot of people that are not necessarily originally from Scotland and have gone to Scotland and have been welcomed with open arms. And I think the Welsh as well. You're from that place and you're from Wales. I'm not sure the English are quite as welcoming, but generally, most of them, the good ones are. Yeah. I mean, I know some people have stayed, if you go to a little village I've heard stories if you go to a village and you're there for 25 years, you're still not accepted in that village a lot of the time. But that's a village. I think if you're just in the country as the country, then you should be welcomed into that country. That's just, I've said this before. A lot of people are like, don't be silly. And I'm like, what's silly about that? I think that's fair enough. If you want to be, you don't have to be. I mean, if you didn't want to be English or British, then see, English is a different thing. I'm not sure about English. I'm not sure how easy it is to be English, not being English, and I don't feel English, and I'm not English, but I am British, but I'm not English. But I've been here in England for more than 20 years now, and I studied in England, but so have I been in England more than I've been in, I don't know whether I've been in England more than I was in Wales, but I'm still not English. But I am British, and I think you'd be Welsh if you went to Wales, and you'd be Scottish if you went to Scotland. I'm not sure about Irish, but English is complicated, yeah. Like Americans, I believe. Americans, if you get the citizenship, then they count you as being Americans. This is what I've heard. I don't know really, but we're not Americans, obviously. I think probably it's quite hard to be accepted into French society. I don't know. I didn't spend that long in France. I've got some French relatives, but I got the feeling that you have to really, really, really be Frenchy. Like my auntie Wendy, she's Welsh, but she spent a long time in France making sure that she's more French than the French. Like, she's very proud of that. She's like, nobody realises that I'm not French, because she's gone out of her way to be really French. She is one of the Frenchest people I know, and she's not born in France, but she won a gold EQ once for saying how she wrote a poem about how she's Gauloise by birth, and then she's French by nationality, by I don't know, adoption, and that she's European in spirit, and she won a gold EQ for. No, they didn't have, that was before the Euro. They tried to do EQs. It's quite a long time ago, and she won a gold one. So that's quite good. So she feels European. So European, I don't know. Oh, I'm going to miss being a proper European. I mean, it's still part of Europe. I mean, Britain's always going to be part of Europe because it just is. But I'm going to miss being a European citizen. I don't feel that it's fair that they've taken that away. I don't, if you're a European citizen and they've taken that away from you, is that fair? I don't think it's fair. What am I going to do? You drink a lot of Scotch, but you're not Scottish. Yeah, I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. What a stupid song. I drink Scotch, but I'm not a Scottish person. Yeah, I eat lots of Scotch eggs, but I'm not an egg. I don't eat Scotch eggs. I don't eat eggs or the meat around them, and I certainly don't eat the crusty bit outside. But yeah, I was born in Europe. Exactly. We're born in Europe, Philip. We are European. It's not fair to take us. Not fair to take it away from us. Give it back. Give our European citizenship back. Ooh. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, now I'm sad now. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. It's just like, everyone's still trying to make light of the situation, because I know a lot of people are really excited and like, no, just leave Europe, and Europe is bad. But I'm like, but I liked it. Why can't I keep it? Why can't? That's what I think. All the people that want to not be European should go, yes, fair enough. And all the people that do still want to be European should just have all the rights and privileges and the freedom of movement and say, yes, we'll have our own separate country. We are all doomed, yes. So we can all still be European, and sod the rest of you. You don't want to be European, all right. You just, I don't know, we should send you all to the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man isn't part of Brittany, probably. It's part of Britain, but it's not part of, what is it? It's not part of is it part of Great Britain, but not, it's very complicated, because the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland and the Channel Islands and Great Britain is what is it? Britain, the British Isles is Ireland as well, even though Ayr isn't part of Britain, and oh, it's very complicated, isn't it? And England's, you know, a lot of people are saying I'm English, I'm not British. It's like, well, I'm British. Jersey's not part. It's not in the EU, Jersey, and nor is the Isle of Man. Anyway, they weren't ever in the EU. Yeah, Great British. Yeah, England, Scotland, Wales. Great Britain. No, Great Britain is a whole. Great Britain is the both islands. So Great Britain is the British Isles, encompasses not even Britain, and that's all that. So Isle of Man is not in Europe, but it is a British territory. It is in Europe, but it's the Isle of Man is in Europe. It's just not in the EU. It's the Isle of Man is still in Europe, and obviously the Channel Islands are practically France, but they're on their own and they've got their own special coins and stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I was like. So that is complicated. But so what I'm saying is all the people that don't want to be in Europe should go to the Isle of Man or the Channel Islands. Or you have to be very rich to go to the Channel Islands, don't you? That would be scuppered, because a lot of the people that really like the Brexit idea aren't that rich, really. A lot of the people that are going to make a lot of money out of it are rich. But I don't know what to do. Yes, exactly. And is it Sarn? Is that a word? Sark. Is it Sark that you can't drive cars on? That it was in the 80s. Derek Jacobi was in a thing called Mr. Pie. Yeah, Sark. Mr. Pie. And Mr. Pie, he was an angel or something, and he went to Sark. And he did stuff, I can't remember what it was. Mr. Pie. He went to Sark and he couldn't drive a car or something. I think there was more to that series than that, but I can't actually remember now. But I'm going to be sad now, because now I was actually almost crying then, because I started to think about it, and I've tried not to think about it. Yes, exactly, that's what I said. That's the Leavers. I thought that's what I said, but I left it hanging. That's what I meant, is that Leavers should go to the Isle of Man or the Channel Islands, and then I got waylaid talking about what bits of Britain are Britain and what bits aren't. But I said this a while ago. I think I've said this as well. And until about 6,000 years ago, Britain was connected to the mainland, and the is it Dogger? That's not right. Anyway, there was the last vestiges of it. There was a couple. The last vestiges of it were a big island in the middle of the North Sea. And in about 6,000 years ago, there was a volcano in Norway, and it sank into the sea. And then, if anybody was on there, they probably died. But probably by then, people were like, oh, it's getting a bit wet here, and they moved somewhere else anyway. So until then, we were part. So what I am hoping for, I'm pretty sure, Doggerbank, exactly. What I'm hoping for is another volcano in Norway, and it rises from the sea again, and then we'll be connected again, and we can just walk across to Norway and go, or all the people that really like Brexit can go and live on this Doggerland, and then it can go back in the sea again. And then I don't have to deal with that then. But you know, or we could just all the people that we could. I don't know what to do. Should we just all the people that want to stay in Europe? Should we just try and get asylum in Europe and all go together? All go to Europe together on a big boat and go, please let us in. Please let us in. Please. Farming rights, yeah. Fishing rights is not. It's not a really goer, is it? Because we are an island, and if you go far enough out to sea, then you hit somebody else's fishing rights. And yes, a boat for Europe. We can make a massive ark. Let's have a big ark, and then we can all get in the ark, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. 66 million of us. There's not 66 million. How many people voted to not? It's like 6.5 million. 16 million. How what? 17 million people said they wanted to leave Europe, and 16 million. I couldn't. 16 million said they didn't. So 16 million people that want to go to Europe, and all the people that didn't vote or didn't get to vote. So that's probably, and there's 66 million people in Britain. So there's 17 million out of that. So there's about 39 million people that would probably quite like to stay in Europe, and 17 million that. So that we outnumber them really. Hmm. It's a thought. A lot of people going to fit on this boat, really. Maybe I haven't really thought this through. Anyway, I'm going to go back to look to see how related I am to other people. 37% of the electorate means 63% of the yeah, but if only 17 million people, this is my point, Philip, there's 66 million people in the country, and if only 17 million of them voted, then 39 million, I can't do my 7 times table, 39 millions didn't, yeah. Yes. So, yes, obviously the people, I don't know, I'm not saying get another referendum, I'm just saying let's just not leave Europe at all and pretend we did to the people. The 70, like, let's have, like, what's that thing that, what's his name? Jim Carrey was in, that they made a whole world just for him. What's it called? I can't remember. About 1998 it was released. What's that one called? Anyway, where they, the Truman Show. That's it. Let's make a big land for all the people that and just tell them that we've left Europe, and then everyone else can just stay. That'll be all right. They can have their own currency and everything. It'll be lovely. It'll be have pictures of who's the most famous person in Brexit land. Nigel Farage. Yeah, it can have pictures of Nigel Farage and Jacob Rees-Mogg on the money, and we'll have and we can put Boris Johnson as the head of everything, and he can go there, and they can all look after themselves and be nice and happy, and nobody need ever be worried, and everyone else can stay and be in Europe, and that'll be all right. And if you did decide that you didn't like to be in Europe, then you could go and live in the Truman Show place, and that would be fine. They probably wouldn't be very welcoming because you'd be an outsider, but you could pretend that you've always been there. Anyway, I should go now. Oh, so sad. Well, who will clean the toilets? Well, you could use Boris Johnson's hair to clean the toilets, couldn't you? You could just use him as a giant toilet brush. I think that was probably... Yes, exactly. Anyway, after saying I'm going to go now, very much like Brexit, I am going to leave. Now, all right then. It's a leave with no deal. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.